Let me tell you three stories about the calendar that will change how you see time forever. Do you know why the New Year is celebrated on January 1st? The Roman calendar originally started in March. That is why September, October, November, December are numbered as 7, 8, 9, 10. But 153 BCE, Roman consul wanted to start their political term earlier, so they just moved New Year to January 1st, not for astronomy, not for science, but for politics. And the second story is, do you know that Christmas, which is celebrated on 25th December, the Bible never mentions the Jesus' birth date. But in 4th century, the early Christians had a problem. Romans celebrated Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, on December 25th. A massive festival entire empire celebrated. So the church chose the exact same date to make conversions easier. Strategic? Absolutely. The actual birth date, nobody knows. But, and the next one is, why is February the shortest month? Originally, February had 30 days. Then Julius Caesar reformed the calendar and created July and gave it 31 days. Later, Augustus Caesar created August. He wanted 31 days too. Couldn't let his month be shorter than Julius' one. So, where would they get extra days from? They took it from February. And that is why we have two 31-day months right next to each other, and February is stuck at 28. This is the calendar that runs the entire world banking, contracts, your birthday, everything. But here's what nobody tells you. While Rome was playing political games with time, ancient India was building something different completely. It is a calendar based on actual cosmic cycles, real math, real astronomy, and it's so accurate that it predicted eclipses centuries before even they happened. Let me show you how it works. See, the problem with the Gregorian calendar is not just its weird political history, but the science itself is broken. Here's what I mean. A real year is not 365 days, it's 365.2422 days, and those extra 2422 days add up. So, what we do is we created a system. We started adding a leap year every 4 years, but we skipped it every 100 years unless every 400 years, then add it back again. Well, I know it's very confusing. Here, what we are doing is we are patching the calendar over and over just to make it kind of work. It's like fixing a car with a duct tape and then more duct tape and calling it precision engineering. But what if there was a calendar that did not require any of this? What if there was a system that naturally stayed in sync with the astronomy? That's exactly what India built. This is the Panchang, not just a calendar, an astronomical computer. And here's the fundamental difference. The Gregorian calendar track one thing, just the sun movement, but the Panchang tracks two things, the sun and the moon movement. So it is called a lunisolar calendar. And watch how beautifully it works. Every month starts with a new moon. You can literally see it in the sky, and every 15th day is a full moon. Again, you can verify this yourself. And now here's the genius part. When the lunar month fall behind the solar year, the system automatically adds an extra month called Adhik Mas. And this happens every 2 to 3 years. No complication, no leap day rules, no skip unless you don't. It's just pure astronomy. And now here's where it gets incredible. The word Panchang literally means five limbs. It does not tell you the date, it gives you five cosmic coordinates. Tithi, the exact lunar phase. Var, which is the day of the week. Nakshatra, which is which of the 27 star zone the moon is passing through, and Yog, the angular relationship between sun and moon. Karn, the half-day cosmic division. Think about what does this mean while Roman were arguing about the whose name on the month goes, the Indian astronomers were calculating the exact position of the moon related to 27 different star constellations every single day. And let's talk proof. Aryabhat, an ancient Indian mathematician and astronomer in the year 499 CE, calculated the length of the year as 365.2586 days, whereas the actual length is 365.2422 days. He was off by just 0.0164 days, and that is just 23 minutes and 40 seconds. And that too in the year 499, without any modern computers, telescope, or satellites. It was just observation and mathematics. He also calculated moon's orbit and Earth's nearly perfect accuracy. Eclipse predictions were accurate for centuries into future. Earth's circumference were within 0.2% of the modern measurement. But how was this possible? Pure observation. Ancient Indian astronomers watched sky every single night. They tracked patterns across generations and developed mathematics so sophisticated enough to predict planetary position years in advance. Meanwhile, in Europe during the same period, most of the people still believed that Earth was flat. And really, I'm not exaggerating. While Indian astronomers were calculating lunar nodes and eclipse cycle, European scholars were debating whether the Earth was disk or a sphere, and the contrast is staggering. Now, this is where everything clicks. You have probably heard people say, why do Indian festival keeps changing dates every year? Well, they don't. We're just checking on them the wrong calendar. Let me explain. Diwali always happen on Kartik Amavasya, a specific new moon, and that's real astronomical event. Holi always happens on Falgun Purnima, a specific full moon, again, real observable event. Makar Sankranti happens when sun enters Capricorn, and you can calculate this with astronomy. See what is happening. These festivals are not moving. Nature is not moving. We are just using a calendar that doesn't track nature. It's like asking, why does sunrise keep changing every time, every day? It doesn't. You are the one who's standing on a different position. The Gregorian calendar is a fixed grid. The Panchang is like a living map of what actually happening in the sky. And here's the difference. We don't need to replace global calendar. Both systems have their places. The Gregorian calendar is perfect for international business, trade, global coordination across time zones, simplified record keeping, legal financial system. While the Panchang is superior for agriculture, planting and harvesting cycle, festival, cultural timing, understanding natural seasons, tracking celestial events and astronomy. And here's the proof it still works. Farmers across the India still use the Panchang today, not because of the tradition, but because it's more accurate for predicting weather patterns and seasonal changes. It actually tells you what Earth is doing, not what emperors decided 2000 years ago. Think about it. We use yoga from ancient India, Ayurveda, meditation techniques, we trusted their mathematics, but when it comes to timekeeping, we still use a Roman political calendar. Does that make any sense?